Hi everyone, I'm Josie Jaffrey and today is the launch date for my latest short story, Last Christmas, which isn't quite as seasonal and happy as it sounds. So today, to celebrate the launch, I'd like to do a quick reading for you from the book. It's going to be from the very beginning. It's just the first short section. So Last Christmas is a dystopian short story that I'm not going to say very much about because I don't want to spoil it for you. And I think it's probably going to end up being a prequel short story to a series that I will hopefully start working on next year. So I'm just going to dive straight into the reading. The world used to be bigger. The land used to go on for miles, stretching into the distance so you could walk all day without ever getting your feet wet. There used to be people living here who didn't even know how to swim. They're all gone now. All that's left are dregs and scavengers. The ragtag group makes its way across the swampy ground from stream to pond to puddle. There are 7 of them in all, an inauspicious number, but they don't care for superstition. They're opportunists, seizing on this chance to get in first, take what they can, and get out again before anyone knows they've been here. Other people might worry about radiation and the uncovered remains of old munitions. Mara does not. She is approaching 40, with a striking combination of bright blue eyes and brown skin. As far as she can remember, she has spent her whole life in and out of the water. She is in her element here. Time, she says. Just before midnight, one of the younger women replies. She's new to the group and Mara hasn't bothered to learn her name. She never will, since in 54 minutes' time the girl will be dead. Can you see anything yet? Mara asks the man beside her. Rui lifts the binoculars to his face and trains them on the centre of the lake. This whole area was underwater a week ago, but now the lake is all that remains of the sea that once covered this plain. The rest of the land has been reclaimed, pursuant to a pilot project that was the current government's ticket into power. But the earth is waterlogged and soggy, which is why it is also deserted. It will be some weeks before it hardens enough to support the construction vehicles that are supposed to be rebuilding the lost city. Mara doubts the dams will last that long. She certainly has no intention of waiting. Rui? She prompts him. Yeah, give me a minute. Can you see it or not? He pulls the glasses away from his face and glares at her. You do realise that it's pitch fucking black out here? It isn't, but Mara just nods and waves him back to his work. It's easier than arguing with him when he's coming down. They both know that he can see well enough. The moon is waning, but it's nearer full than crescent. They've travelled without lights from the stilt-born slum where they gather in the evenings, so their eyes have adjusted to the moonlight. Rui is just frustrated and anxious that it's taking him so long to spot their target. They all need this score, Rui more than most. He wouldn't have let himself go into withdrawal tonight, of all nights, if he could have afforded not to. He is frozen, tense and still, scanning the lake while the other 6 stand at the edge of the water and watch it glint with waves. It's cold, but their wetsuits keep out the worst of the chill. A fish jumps out of the water, then flops back down into it, sideways. More follow as though they're trying to escape the banks of the lake that now contain them. Once they would have made the entire ocean their home, but even this last remnant will be drained soon. The fish jump as though they know they are on borrowed time. I don't like it, says Ossian. You never do, Mara replies, which is an exaggeration but not an unreasonable one. Ossian is the eldest of the group by some 5 years, and it shows in his attitude. He is cautious, but it's difficult to discount his opinions on that basis when it has such an obvious benefit. He is old because he has been careful. I still don't like it, he says. Look at the fish. Mara looks again. There is something in their movement that suggests urgency. If it had been only an hour or so since they had been trapped, perhaps that urgency would make sense, but it has been longer. Much longer. Still, Mara laughs it off and squeezes Ossian's shoulder gently. You worry too much, she says. He pats her hand, resigned to being considered an old fool, and pulls away and walks to the water's edge. You don't remember it, he murmurs. You don't know what it was like. But Mara has heard enough about the flood that a shiver of fear runs down her spine anyway. Still, it changes nothing. They need this, and she can't afford to spread doubt amongst their party. There, Rui shouts, pointing. I see it, off to the left, a little more than halfway across. Are you sure? He hands the binoculars to Mara, looking over her shoulder to direct her to their target. There, he says. You see it? There's a rod on top of it, sticking up from those rocks. The wind changes slightly, and Mara sees something move. She catches her breath. Is that the weather vane? Rui grins. The Daggett Dragon. The four youngsters whoop and laugh, passing the binoculars between them until they have each picked out the tarnished gold dragon topping the structure that pokes out of the lake. Mara meets Ossian's eyes in the darkness. There is no way around this now. They are going into the water. That's the end of the little bit that I wanted to read for you today. That's the very beginning of the short story. It's available to download as an ebook from Amazon. That's the only place it's available at the moment. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you might download the short story, and if you do, I hope you enjoy it.